Be building up cash before you retire. Now, I've said this a million times this Sunday. I'm going to say it again and again and again until you get it through your big fat heads. We want to build up cash before we retire. So it's just, this is my typical client here today. These guys are crushing. Just wonderful people who are just kicking ass and taking names. Roughly $1 million in their retirement accounts, most of it in the 401k, pre-tax money, I should say. And then about $200,000 in cash. House is paid for, no debts, no car. They're Dave Ramsey acolytes. Just crush them. They need like $80,000 a year to live on. My man's got a smallish pension, about $2,500 a month, that he'll get once he retires. So they're going to need $2,500 a month. That's $30,000 a year. They need about $80,000 all told. So they're going to need to pull about $50,000 a year from their retirement accounts or their cash account. All right, so he's, I want to say 63 and she's 60, something like that. So she's going to take Social Security early. It'll be reduced. You know, she stayed home to raise the kiddos and whatnot. But she'll still get some kind of benefit. It won't be much, but it'll be reduced and it'll still be a benefit. He's going to wait till he's 67. So by the time they're both on social and with their pension, that's going to cover all their expenditures right there. So they basically got, I think it's 5 years, I think, before they're both on social. And in that case, they don't need to pull any money for their portfolio. But we looked at the RMDs that are coming down the pike, and you know, if they don't want to get hit with, especially the widow's tax trap. In this case, the widow's tax trap is legit. She's going to get I don't want to say destroyed, but she will have significant higher taxes to pay on significant less income once we'll call them Brenda and Sam. Once Sam dies, I used to work with people named Brenda and Sam when I was at the bank. Just to get me, Brenda and Sam. But anyway, so what we're trying to do here is we should do Roth conversions. Roth conversions to the extent of the 12% tax bracket. All right. So if we're doing Roth, again, we have 30,000 coming in, we need 80,000. So if we took 50,000 from his IRA, all right, that still has enough wiggle room for about $40,000 that we can still do Roth conversions. That makes sense because the top of the AGI for married, filing jointly is about 130. Yeah, about $50,000. So what my recommendation here is to say, man, take a little bit of money out of your cash account, $15,000, $20,000, like for emergencies, like if he needs a new roof or something like that. Take that from your cash account. Take some money from your IRA, and then start doing Roth conversions to the extent of the 12% tax bracket. And what that does, it's just but you need to have cash to do this. They don't need Obamacare, by the way. And what that does is it flattens the tax bill right now. So they're going to pay a little bit more in tax because they're doing Roth conversions, about $50,000, $60,000 a year to the top of the 12% tax bracket. It flattens their taxes going forward. There's no widow's tax trap. In fact, the widow's tax trap goes the exact opposite because once he dies, she has less taxes to pay, assuming he dies at a later time. Why? Because she doesn't have anything in IRAs anymore. It's all been consumed either through Roth conversions or through spending. And so there's no widow's tax trap. Just make sure I'm going here. All right, gotcha. And as such, the Roth conversions make sense. But we don't want to do Roth conversions to put them, I'm not going $5,000 above the threshold for the AGI to keep in 12% tax bracket. That's not a big deal. But we don't want to do Roth conversions. We're now halfway through the 12% tax bracket, looking at the 22/25% tax bracket. That doesn't make any sense. So in this case, we're going to do Roth conversions to the extent of the 12% tax bracket. But we have to pay the tax for those Roth conversions. Where does the tax come? We have to get a new roof. Where does that money come from? We have to get some other income in which to pay the bills. Where does that money come from? They want to go on vacay. They got a grandbaby coming down the pike. All this stuff. Well, that should come from cash. And cash is king. So build up cash. I tell you, man, if you can, ideally, you got $1 million in your retirement account. Ideally, you have more in Roth than these guys do. But, they're not going to get crushed tax-wise. You got $1 million in your retirement account, you $200,000 in cash. You wait till take Social Security as a man until he's 67. The wife takes it earlier, reduced, so she'll take. I think it's going to be $1,500 a month. Will be her social. That's $18,000 a year. This guy's got a $30,000 a year pension. That's $48,000 a year. He'll get social at 67, which I think was about $3,200 a month. So that's another $40,000 a year. This is just perfect, man. Once he's on Social Security, they don't have any more spending needs from their portfolio, none. And then on top of that, because Social Security is the bulk of their income, they're not even close to 12% tax bracket. So now we start converting even more. Now, recognizing that to convert more, we'll pull more Social Security into taxes, I grant you. But still, we're talking, we have a lot of wiggle room to do conversions here, man. And by the time, there's essentially by the time you're 75, you stop doing any conversions. You just start doing the RMDs, and because the IRA has been hit so hard for the last 10 to 15 years, there's hardly anything left. Oh, what a great thing. But it's all contingent on cash. If you didn't have the cash component, you can't do any of this. Why? Because if you do Roth conversions, you're going to be paying tax from where? It's going to come out from the IRA. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but we'd rather have the tax come from a side account because we want more money to be working for us inside the Roth. If you need to get a new roof, that money's going to come from the IRA if you don't have cash. And the IRA is going to add to your taxable income, and that will reduce our ability to do Roth conversions to the extent of the 12% tax bracket. Just having that cash, what it does, it just frees up a lot. It makes you very, very flexible. It frees. Oh, look at that little bird chasing his big mom. That's so cute. It frees up so much stuff, dude. Oh, but Josh, don't you know it's not very tax efficient? Screw that, dude. Tax efficiency, man, while you're working. I'm worried about tax efficiency when I'm retired, because while you're working, you got the resources to pay the tax. It's when you're retired that we got to worry about. So, anyway, that's. Oh, there's a hawk. I think it's a hawk. Can y'all see that? Hawk's like flying by me because I'm so sweet. Is that a baby hawk? I can't tell. And I'm living in Atlanta where the hawks run rampant. But they do fly around where Pablo is because they love Pablo. All right. Love your thoughts. God bless. We'll see you.